Oh, why hello there. Welcome to another thrilling and chilling edition of Man Up. Today we're basically going to talk about the 5 must-have products that every man should incorporate into their day-to-day routine. It ranges from makeup products to just kind of mattifying and priming products, but they're the basics that every man can benefit from. So whether you're someone who wears a full face of makeup or you're someone who really doesn't tend to touch makeup very often, all of these products are something that I think will drastically help you either ease into a makeup routine or to just brighten up the routine you already have with a couple extra tips and tricks to just kind of clean you up a little bit more. So let's just jump right in. First is mattifiers. We talked about this in my oil control video. So basically it's just ranges of products that kind of help to stop the excess oil production on the surface of your skin or mask the excess oil production on the surface of your skin. So like we talked about in the video, we've got all different types. I'm not going to get too much into it because God knows I love to ramble on. So there's your powders, and then you've got your liquids. So liquid's really great. The only thing I find that kind of I'm not a huge fan of with some of these liquids is that your face still feels oily. It just doesn't look oily. So that's good if you don't really care about how oily your skin feels. And then the prep and prime is something that I really like to put on top of a foundation look, especially if I'm doing a liquid or a cream. But like I said, it kind of builds. So I don't know if you can see, there's a little like white cast shadow. So be careful with them, but they're definitely great products to incorporate if you're someone who's naturally oily. Having a product like this in your arsenal, not your arsenal, your arsenal. You know, I'm all about the arsenal. But basically they're a great way to kind of keep your face matte and natural looking throughout the day without having to put on any makeup. Number 2, concealers. So a concealer is, of course, makeup, and it's something that's really easy for everyone to use. It's something that kind of helps to mask a blemish without having to put on a full face of makeup. So if you have a little bit of razor burn, if you have a couple little pimples or dark circles, products like this one, it's the CoverGirl Plus Olay Concealer. It's super moisturizing, it's perfect for under the eye, it really doesn't crease. It goes right under the eye, brightens up, so you can just put it right here, and then you just kind of pat it in and allow it to kind of mask those dark circles. There's tons of concealers. I'll probably do a tutorial so that way you guys know what kind of concealers work best for what kind of problem. For example, yellow or green tinged concealers work best for red spots, hiding redness, razor burn, whereas salmon, pink, orange concealers tend to be better for hiding blue or purple. So under eye circles, dark spots, blackheads, like those sorts of things. And then a nice light concealer going a color brighter than your natural skin tone to kind of highlight certain parts of your face or to just kind of brighten up a certain area that's looking a little down in the dumps that day. So for example, your under eye. What's also great about it is that it's not too, a lot of guys are really self-conscious about the idea of putting a full face on, like covering their entire face with makeup. So this is kind of a way to kind of ease into makeup. Clean up little flaws that you want to hide or mask little problem areas without going too big and loud. So that way you don't really feel like you're wearing very much and it won't read as heavy to other people. Number 3. So this one is a little bit more makeup, but this one is really a must-have as far as I'm concerned, especially if you're starting to transition into a full face of makeup. And you know what I mean, you've used your concealers, you're starting to kind of feel more comfortable putting on a full face of foundation. This is definitely a product that you want to use. And even if you're not doing a full face of makeup, they're really great for just highlighting certain attributes on your face, or if your face is really matte, after using a product like this, for example, it kind of helps you control the shine. So like I said in my other video, using things that might sometimes be seen as negative as a positive so that you can kind of keep your face looking natural. So for example, if you have a full matte face after using a mattifying cream or a mattifying powder, you can then put a little bit on your finger and just kind of put it up the bridge of your nose, on your cupid's bow, on your cheekbones, maybe here on your eyebrow. I'm just gonna put a little bit on myself just to brighten it up for you. And then the corners of your eyes and maybe above your eyebrows. So that just kind of brings all the peaks of your face forward. It's slimming, it makes you look more chiseled. It's definitely super butch. It looks good. You'll look good. But basically it's a great way to kind of keep your face looking natural and preventing you from looking too cakey or too product-y. So it's definitely a must-have for every guy. Even if you're not doing the full face of makeup, there's so many things that you can use this for. Number 4, next one is primers. We've talked about this before, and I am a huge advocator of primers for men. So there's some that are super, super cheap, like this e.l.f. primer, which is enriched with tea tree oil, so it helps to minimize pores, produces a cooling and calming effect, and it's only $6. And the added bonus is that it's pretty much usually only available online, so you don't have to go into a store, you don't have to carry a primer around the drugstore and have like, oh, are people gonna look at me because I'm buying makeup? It's completely discreet, no one will ever know you bought it, and it really helps leaps and bounds. It helps to mattify your skin, helps to diminish fine lines, helps to eliminate redness and brown spots, and really helps to give you it helps to really minimize those negative flaws that you might have without having to do anything coverage-wise. So no foundations, no concealers. It just kind of helps to take all those problems and just kind of blur them a bit without looking conspicuous. You just kind of dab it onto your hand, you spread it on your finger, and you just kind of dab it into the corners of your face and then rub it out. I tend to use 2 fingers. You can use 100 fingers. Call a friend over and use theirs. But you just kind of massage it into your skin, let it cook, and then proceed onto your day. If you're not going to be applying any makeup after this, it's great. It just kind of helps to minimize those problems. It's completely discreet and invisible, and it really does make a difference. And if you are going to apply makeup after it, just kind of let it sit and set and soak into your pores. You can just apply some of those other products we talked about, like a little bit of concealer or a little bit of highlighter, and then you have a nice base, just like you would apply a primer onto the wall before you apply a coat of paint. A primer works in the same way. I think I'm probably going to do some kind of primer tutorial. I've been around the block with primer. And last but not least, we talked about it in my last video, and that is brow care. It's probably the easiest one out of everything on the list, other than maybe the primers, because you just kind of put it on. It's probably the easiest step that makes the biggest difference. So just using a clear mascara, or a colored brow gel, or using the tip that I showed you guys in my last video, they're all great ways to just brighten up your eyes. Cleaning up your eyebrows, your face just looks more put together, you look cleaner, you look fresher, your eyes look bigger, and you look wide-eyed. It really makes a big difference for very little time, very little effort, and very little product. And especially if you use the tip that I suggested in my last video, it really is, costs almost nothing. You can use stuff you already have. So it really, for the least amount of money, makes the largest difference, and I really, out of all of these, highly suggest this and the primers or the mattifiers. Those are probably the easiest for someone who really is not sure about makeup and just kind of wants to clean up what they are already doing. So after you've done your face routine, like cleansing and toning and moisturizing your face, just applying a primer after your moisturizer, cleaning up your brow, and then you're good to go. So it's really, really simple and doesn't require any makeup products. Well, there you go, guys. I hope you liked my little list. Really just 5 super great products that I think every guy should have, and all of them are really stress-free. They're pretty much error-proof. You can't really make a mistake with them, and they really do all help to really drastically improve your day-to-day look without any real work. And all of the products I suggested come in all kinds of price ranges, from as cheap as $3 or $4 to as expensive as maybe $20 or $30. But nothing is really too outside of your price range. It just really depends on what you're willing to spend. So thanks so much for watching. Please continue to like, share, and subscribe. I don't know if I put, this is where I think the button is. If it's not there, I'm sure you'll find it. So please, please do share this with all your friends. All of my success does, of course, depend on you guys. So thank you so much for watching. See you later, bros and hoes.